Right, Clarence, fan reaction. Burnley 1, West Bromwich Albion 1. Start with positives. 24 undefeated. That's not the new record, but 24 undefeated. Outstanding record, absolutely outstanding. Joe said on the full-time show at the weekend, it's going under the radar, and it 100% is. Obviously there's a lot of draws in there. Obviously another one tonight, but absolutely outstanding. That it's an incredible record, and I think credit needs to go to Scott Parker and the lads. It's one of them where I think because there are so many draws in there, and there's not as many fashionable wins as I'm gonna say. In there, there's a lot of games where we have had to grind out the result. I think it does go under the radar, but 24 games undefeated in this league is absolutely outstanding. I thought tonight we had moments where we played really well. I thought Lucas Perez, that was one of his best games in a Burnley shirt. Obviously, he wasn't, a 10 out of 10, but I thought it was one of his strongest games. I thought Trafford had a good game, as and when he needed to, in terms of the goalkeeping side, making the saves. But he just lacked urgency, like most of the team. I thought Fleming took his goal well, but, anyone would you'd expect to score that. But like I say, I thought he took it well. I thought Anthony had a really, really good game. I thought he was unlucky to hit the crossbar. I wish he'd have taken, tried to take a couple more chances, maybe try and get it to the byline and pull it across a little bit, but I thought he had a really good game. And I thought Hannibal did. I thought Hannibal were playing really, really well up until he came off, and I think you could tell when he came off, the tempo sort of dropped and almost the urgency seemed to drop. And like I say, unfortunately, you could tell when he went off. But it's a big point. I'm not going to sit here and be all doom and gloom about it, because it's another point on the board, and results tonight of obviously Sheffield United and Bristol, that's kept the 1-1 draw there has kept Sheffield United from pulling away. Obviously disappointed because we go and attack that game and we go get the 3 points. We go top of the league, even if it's only for the night. We go top of the league. As it is, we're still sat in third. So, it is a little bit disappointing, but like I say, it's a big, big point. I thought West Brom looked like a strong side. They look like a good side. They're obviously in the playoffs and challenging for that promotion spot, or for that playoff spot. Sorry, because they are a good side. So, like I said, it's one of them where it is a good point, but disappointment comes in once again, because it's weird, because you look at the subs and obviously Foster coming on and Sarmiento coming on, even Loren coming on. Obviously Foster had to go off and Barnes coming on. Luca coming on. Like, the subs are attack-minded subs. It would have been very easy for Parker to sit back and hold on to what we had. But the subs are attack-minded subs, but we didn't go and attack the game until, the last 5-10 minutes of the match. And by that point, it's a little bit too late. But we need to be attacking the game as early as we can. I know we have this build-up play where we like to keep possession and we like to, slow the game down and stuff. And there are moments you can do that. Obviously we saw that under Company. We saw that under Deitch. We've seen that there are moments where you slow the game down and, you can have that little bit of possession. But it's not possession that's going to win you games. It's having the opportunities and creating chances and putting the ball in the back of the net. And again, we haven't done that again tonight. You know, it's story of our season, really, isn't it? But yeah, like I said, like there's moments to take that possession, and there's moments to pass it around, and there's moments to have the urgency and go. And we just don't, we just didn't seem to do that tonight. And it's weird coming off the match like this after such a high on Saturday. To like I said, I'm not being negative at all, and I'm not being down about it, because that's a really, really good point. And if the performance levels were completely up there tonight, I'd be absolutely buzzing with that point. But the performance wasn't 100% there, and I suppose it's what they say, isn't it, that champions get points and win games, or get points when they're not playing well. And we've got a point tonight when we haven't played well. So yeah, I'm not too disappointed with it. But like I say, there's moments where I just wish we'd have a little bit more urgency. In terms of the West Brom goal, was it a free kick? I don't really think so, especially when, the referee's not given a free kick down the other end for something very, very similar. I'd need to see it again, because the only highlights thing that I've seen doesn't show the foul for the free kick. It only shows the free kick. It wasn't in the position where the foul was either. The foul was in the D. The free kick wasn't taken in the D. I'm not going to complain about the ref. I'm not going to complain about that, because it was a hell of a free kick. And sometimes you've just got to hold your hands up and just say, yeah, fair play. That's a great free kick. And that's what it were. So, yeah, can't argue against that. Trafford had no chance. I know that he doesn't dive for it, but he had no chance. It's just a good free kick, really. And I thought West Brom were good value for the point. I thought, if we'd have nicked it tonight, I think it would have been a robbery. I thought they were a good value for a point. Possibly, maybe deserved all three. Probably not. But they were good value for the point. Excuse me. And yeah, like I say, Fleming took his goal well, but you'd expect any professional footballer to be able to put the ball in the back of the net there. But just going to go back to the referee, because he had a stinker of a performance. He'd give a free kick for one thing, and then 30 seconds later not give a free kick for the other. The whole pissing about with the opposition players' shin pad in like the 95th minute. Just get on with the game. You've got 2 minutes left. What are you messing about for? Even the West Brom players weren't happy about it. It was just one of them where he had, a really poor performance for both sides. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that the referee was absolutely spot on for West Brom and, giving them every decision, because he didn't. It was just poor for both sides. And I think it says everything where we've had him 3 times this season. I think it's Gavin Ward. And every time he's been booed off the pitch by both sets of supporters. And yeah, it just sums up officiating in this country. And then, yeah, the altercation at the final whistle, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely stupid. The ref didn't really have control of the game all the way through. Lots of niggly fouls, lots of little free kicks that he's not given. And then he's blown the final whistle. Their lad shoved Egan Riley, and Egan Riley's just kicked out and, he's tripped him over. Very silly thing for him to do. Very silly thing for him to do at, that moment in the match. The whistle's gone. The game's over. They're not going on the attack. Just leave it. But, he's still a young lad. He's lost his head. And, he has kicked out. And I don't know what the situation is around it. There's probably some more context than that. But he's just kicked out and got himself sent off. And it's a stupid thing to do. If that's in play because Steve's covering him, he would get a yellow card, and that's it. But But the fact that he's done it after the whistle's gone, it means that he's got himself sent off. Are we going to appeal it? Probably. I think every red card, unless it's obvious, probably does get appealed. But you know, it's one of them where, are we going to actually win the appeal? I don't know, because the PGMOL are just ridiculous. They don't know what they're doing. Officiating in this country is ridiculous. They don't know what they're doing. So, you know, it's, like I say, it was a stupid thing from Egan Riley to do, and it's stupid that, you know, we've got 9 absolutely massive games. Is it 9 or is it 10? Don't know. 9 or 10 games left. You know, absolutely massive games. And he's got himself sent off. And if we don't appeal it, we lose him for the next 3 games. If we do appeal it and we lose him for 4. So, you know, it's one of them where it's stupid because he's a massive, massive player for us, but at the same time, you know, it's a bit of a stupid red card. But yeah, like I say, I'm not disappointed with the result, not disappointed with the point, little bit disappointed with performance. You know, big chance to go top of the league tonight, especially with results going our way. But yeah, we've got 9 or 10 big games left. Absolutely massive game against Swansea at the weekend. Let's go get 3 points. Let's keep the pressure on Leeds and Sheffield United. The tile's still on, lads. The tile is still on. Up the Clarets.